Public Gallery, Ngwata Primary and JSS from Mavoko, Machakos, Kirangari Boys High School from Kabete, Kiambu, Kianyaga High School from Gishugu, Kirinyaga. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Honorable members, we'll go to statements. Rael Kasiwai, I saw a letter she was nominating somebody. To request for the statement. Was she nominating Moroto? Clerk, do you have that letter? There was a member from West Pokot nominated by Rael Kasiwai. Not here. We stay the statement. Samuel Moroto. I think the letter covered Moroto as well. They said they were away on some urgent matter. We'll stay the two statements to Thursday afternoon. Tandaza Kazim, member for Matuga.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44, 2C, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations regarding the blockage of the bank account of Ms. Musawe Suleiman Mambo, a Kenyan national, by the Al Raj Bank in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Honorable Speaker, Ms. Musawe Suleiman Mambo, passport number AK004 ending with 69, has been living and working in Saudi Arabia for the 2 years, in which period she opened and operated a bank account with the Al Raj Bank. On 7 September 2025, while at the airport in Saudi Arabia for her flight back to Kenya, she was able to access her bank account and transact without difficulty. However, on her arrival in Kenya on 8 September 2025, she has been unsuccessful in reaching the bank, which remains unresponsive, and no reasons have been given for blocking access to her account. The account holds her savings accumulated during her period of employment in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It is unfortunate that...
Yes, order, Tandaza. Yes, Wangwe, what's the point of order?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I don't intend to disrupt my very good friend, the engineer, but this House being a House guided by your own guidelines, according to your own judgment, Honorable Speaker, is the member properly dressed to address the floor?
Which member?
The one speaking, Honorable Speaker.
Tandaza.
Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes,
I'm in my official kanzu, and as a Muslim, this is the way I'm supposed to dress, and on top I have, so I can't put a tie on a kanzu. I think it's just far from
You
where
are in
I
a
am.
kanzu.
For sure.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Wangwe is used to seeing only white kanzus.
No.
Yes.
A kanzu doesn't have to be white, Honorable Speaker. Will I start or proceed now with this interruption from Honorable Wangwe? Okay.
Proceed where you stopped, you left.
It is unfortunate that with her life savings locked and inaccessible, she is now unable to afford basic amenities, further exacerbating the economic challenges that she faces in settling back in Kenya. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations on the following. 1. The steps taken by the Kenyan Embassy in Saudi Arabia in collaboration with the relevant Saudi Arabian authorities, to facilitate the restoration of Ms. Msawe Suleiman's access to the bank account to allow utilization of our funds, and 2, the measures put in place to strengthen consular support for Kenyans working in the Gulf region, including assistance in financial disputes, documentation, challenges, and other forms of distress. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Nelson Koech, when can you bring a response to that?
As soon as possible, even tomorrow, Honorable Speaker. Just guide.
Tomorrow afternoon?
Yes, I'll bring it tomorrow
Excellent.
afternoon.
Your colleagues should work like that. Did you have prior knowledge that there was such a statement coming?
Honorable Speaker, this is the second time.
Give Tandaza, yes, Tandaza?
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I read this question before we went for recess last time, and from the table office, the answer has not been there. So I believe he could be having it somewhere, and therefore provide it.
Nelson Koech, tomorrow afternoon. Thank you. John Makali, I'm informed the member is away in his constituency on an urgent matter. Doris Donya. Doris Donya, go ahead.
Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Environment, Forestry and Mining regarding the persistent discharge of raw sewage into public spaces during rainy seasons. Honorable Speaker, it is unfortunate that there is a recurrent phenomenon where during heavy rainfall, raw sewage often overflows onto roads, residential estates, marketplaces, and other public areas. This poses grave public health dangers, including the risk of waterborne diseases such as cholera and typhoid, compromises environmental integrity, contaminates water sources, and infringes on the dignity, safety, and right of our citizens to a clean and healthy environment. This situation not only reflects existing systemic deficiencies in our sewer infrastructure, but also raises serious concerns regarding planning, maintenance, regulatory oversight, and compliance enforcement by relevant authorities and other water and sanitation services providers. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Environment, Forestry and Mining on the following. A report on the underlying causes of the recurrent sewer overflows experienced during rainy seasons in urban and pre-urban areas, including an assessment of the condition and capacity of existing sewer infrastructure, and the immediate remedial interventions being undertaken to contain the current health and environmental risks, including emergency response and mechanisms, public health safeguards and accountability measures against negligent sewerage service providers. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Now that, Mr. Speaker, you are engaging.
Thank you, Honorable Donya. Chair, Environment, Forest and Mining. Owen, who is the chair? Yes, Women Rep Kericho. Beatrice.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And from what she said, it is something serious, so please give us 2 weeks. I will talk to the chair.
Committee?
Yeah, I'm a member of the committee.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yes, Donya. Give Donya the...
You see, Mr. Speaker, the rains are causing havoc. It's not that they are going to get the response from Japan or Ethiopia. It is just within. I think 1 week or even 2 days, Mr. Speaker, is enough. Serious issues must be taken seriously. They should even responded to within a day.
Beatrice Kemei, can your chair or yourself bring a response on Thursday afternoon?
Maybe next week, Chair, and Speaker, next week on Tuesday.
Tuesday will be on recess.
You know, Speaker, it is not one area, it is the whole country. So allow the chair to do it next week.
Recess.
Conduct your line ministry and bring a response, or at least a preliminary response, on Thursday afternoon. Amos Mwago.
Thank
Member
you.
for Stare.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Lands regarding delayed issuance of a provisional certificate of title deed to Ms. Salamat Bibi Sheikh of ID number 10224231. Honorable Speaker, Mrs. Salamat Bibi Sheikh is the administrator of the estate of the late Remat Ali Sheikh, Nur Muhammad Sheikh, Hussein Bibi Sheikh, and Abdul Rashid Sheikh. Consequently, she is a registered proprietor of land reference number 209/605, comprised in grant number IR 19333, situated along Melili Road, South B Estate in Nairobi City County. In 2020, Ms. Sheikh discovered that the original certificate of title for the said property had been misplaced or lost. Despite making extensive efforts to trace the document, her attempts were unsuccessful. She immediately applied to the Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing, and Urban Development for the issuance of a provisional certificate of title deed. However, to her dismay, she was informed that even the provisional certificate of title deed was missing from the registry, and up to date, she is yet to be issued with a copy of this document. Honorable Speaker, it is deeply concerning that such a crucial document could be misplaced within the custody of the ministry. This prolonged delay has subjected Mrs. Sheikh to financial distress, as she has been unable to use the title as collateral for financing or to transact with the property in any meaningful way. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Lands on the following. 1. The circumstances surrounding the disappearance of the provisional certificate of title deed land reference number 209/605 while under the custody of the Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development, and an indication of whether any efforts have been made to reconstruct the missing file. 2. Specific timelines within which Mrs. Salamat Bibi Sheikh will be issued with the provisional certificate of title deed. 3. Safeguards in place to secure the said land from potential irregular transfers pending reconstruction of the file and issuance of the provisional certificate of title. And 4, the measures put in place by the ministry to ensure digitization and secure preservation of land records within its custody to guarantee ease of access and prevent similar occurrences in the future. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chair Lands. Owen Bayer. I think I saw the Lands Committee in vetting meeting.
The chair for land sits somewhere here.
Chair Lands, can you instruct them to bring a response the first Wednesday after recess?
Okay. Much obliged, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Lochakapong. Kasiwai. Now that you are here, start with your own statement.
Yes, I'll do, Honorable Speaker.
Then Morotos, then Lochas.
I start with the one for Honorable Chakapong.
Start with your own.
Okay. Honorable Speaker, I rise to request for a statement regarding the status and jurisdiction of Aro County Administrative Unit. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 444-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the status and jurisdiction of Aro Sub-County Administrative Unit. Honorable Speaker, the Minister of Interior and National Administration, via Gazette Notice number 2969, dated 17th March 2022, it established administrative units as service delivery coordination units to enhance the functions of the national government. Among the 18 sub-counties created was Aro sub-county in Turkana County. However, there have since emerged concerns and disputes regarding the precise boundary between Turkana County and West Pokot County in Aro sub-county. This situation has led to uncertainty among residents and contributed to challenges in coordination of security operations, delivering of public services, land administrative processes, and general communal relations. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. Number 1, clarification on the officially recognized boundary between Turkana County and West Pokot County, particularly in relation to Aro sub-county. 2, the measures being taken by the ministry to ensure seamless coordination in matters of security operations, service delivery, and administrative oversight in Aro sub-county. And lastly, I want to know the steps being taken to safeguard land rights, prevent boundary-related conflicts, and promote social stability among communities residing in Aro sub-county. I thank you, Honorable Speaker. On behalf
Hold on, Kasiwai. Chair, Internal Security, Tongoyo, when can you bring a response?
Can do on Wednesday, or it's on once we resume from recess.
The first Wednesday.
The first Wednesday, Speaker.
Thank you. Samuel Moroto, Kasiwai.
Honorable Speaker, Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Blue Economy.
Put it on record that on behalf of Samuel Moroto, it's not your statement.
Thank you. On behalf of Samuel Moroto, the member for Kapenguria constituency, I rise to request for a statement regarding the implementation of the Takwe Lokichar Water and Irrigation Project under the South Lokichar Field Development Plan. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation regarding the implementation of the Takwel Lokichar Water and Irrigation Project under the South Lokichar Field Development Plan. Honorable Speaker, the Takwel Dam, located in West Pokot County, is a critical enabler of the South Lokichar Field Development Plan as the source of water and power infrastructure required for oil extraction, as well as for irrigation and domestic supply to communities along the Takwel Lokichar corridor. The FDP indicates that the planned distribution of the benefits from the project between Turkana and West Pokot counties includes access to treated water and large-scale agricultural development. However, it is noted with concern that while the dam and the key water abstraction infrastructure are situated in West Pokot County, the bulk of the irrigation expansion allocated to Turkana County, while West Pokot County is allocated less acreage despite hosting the primary water source. This situation raises serious concerns regarding equity, fairness, and proportional benefit sharing in the utilization of the natural resource and benefits to local communities. It is expected that the Takwel Lokichar transmission system will convey water to designated centers and communities along the pipeline route, with multiple off-take points to support domestic use. However, clarity is required regarding the full cost implications of the transmission pipelines, the specific beneficiary communities, and the criteria applied in allocating irrigation acreage and water infrastructure between the host counties. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation on the following. Number one, a report on the cost estimates for the Takwel Lokichar transmission pipelines, including the criteria used in identifying the designated beneficiary communities. Two, a report detailing the specific communities in West Pokot County that will benefit from the treated water transmission system, including the number of off-take points and the volumetric allocation guaranteed to residents of West Pokot to support domestic use. And finally, the measures put in place
by the Ministry of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation to ensure West Pokot County as the primary water source receives its proportional share from the project in terms of irrigation acreage, water abstraction, and associated infrastructure development. And I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Chair, Blue Economy. Bowen, can you respond?
Mr. Speaker, I don't know if, because the Honorable Moroto is not here, this is something we discussed with the ministry, and even I have the answer straight away. It's only that the Honorable he's asking on behalf of Moroto, who is not in. But Speaker,
Kasiwai, when is Honorable Moroto going to be here? Are you ready to take the answer?
Honorable Speaker.
So,
yes.
Okay, Bowen, tomorrow.
Tomorrow
afternoon.
Afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
In fact, we can load it to tomorrow morning. Kasiwai, you'll be here tomorrow morning on behalf of Honorable Moroto?
Yes, I will, Honorable Speaker.
Clerk, put that response to tomorrow morning. Kasiwai, on behalf of Lochakapong.
On behalf of Honorable Peter Lochakapong, the MP for Sigor constituency, I rise to ask or request for a statement regarding transport and road safety concerns arising from the operations of Simtech Limited in Sebit in West Pokot County. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding serious transport and road safety concerns linked to the operations of the Simtech Limited in Sebit, West Pokot County. Honorable Speaker, Simtech Limited is a cement manufacturing factory operating in West Pokot and officially Sebit area. Whereas the company serves as a key economic enabler in the region, heavy commercial trucks belonging to the company are allegedly driven carelessly, leading to frequent road accidents and near miss incidences. The absence of adequate traffic control measures in the area has reportedly worsened the situation, thereby exposing residents and other road users to heightened risk. Honorable Speaker, it has further been reported that there are no designated truck parking or holding areas around the factory. Due to this, trucks are dangerously parked along public roads within Sebit area, causing traffic congestion, obstructing access routes, and increasing the livelihood of accidents. This uncontrolled parking has created serious danger to motorists, pedestrians, school children, and traders undertaking their daily activities within the town. Numerous complaints to the management of Simtech company and local authorities have borne no results. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the following. One, the action being taken by the ministry to investigate and address the resulting road safety concerns in and around Sebit. And two, the reasons for the absence of designated truck parking or holding areas around the factory. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chair Transport and Infrastructure, GK.
First Wednesday of next month, the Honorable Speaker will have the response.
Thank you. Jerry. Hold on, Jerry, before you make your request. Honorable members, allow me to acknowledge in the Speaker's Gallery, St. Anne's Girls, Lioki, Kiambu Township, Kiambu, Sosit Girls from Bureti, Kericho in the public gallery, Karocho Secondary School from Tharaka Nithi. I've been requested by Honorable Komingoi. I'll give you a minute to welcome the school from your constituency and all the other students in the galleries. Give Komingoi the mic.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to be able to welcome beautiful girls that are both on the Speaker's Gallery and the public gallery, and the other students that are here to see for themselves the discourse that is happening within the House of Parliament. My own behalf and on behalf of this House, Speaker, we want to tell the girls that they have the opportunity before them, that they may be able to transform not only their lives, but the lives of their community they come from and the people they surround themselves with, that they may arm themselves with thoughts, ideas, and maybe messaging that they'll be able to send to the communities around them, that they may be able to know that within the presence of Parliament is the opportunity to be the national figures in this country. I wish them all the best as they study, wish them greater days ahead of them, and pray that the Lord will carry them along, even as they study and set themselves on stage to change, and not only to change, but also to transform their communities and their own lives for the betterment of our country. Honorable Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity and welcome the students to Bunge. And especially for the girls from Sosit, Bureti constituency. Most beautiful girls we have in a beautiful school, in a beautiful setting, and the future ahead of them is quite beautiful, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Komingoi. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Kasheri.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education regarding the safety of learners at Kerugoya School for the Deaf. Honorable Speaker, on 2nd March 2026, a teacher at Kerugoya School for the Deaf was arrested following allegations of defilement of an 8-year-old female pupil at the institution. Alarmingly, it is further alleged that the said teacher is facing similar cases before a court of law. The matter has caused widespread anxiety among parents, guardians, and the public regarding the safeguards in place for students' safety in schools, especially in special learning institutions. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education on the following. 1, the circumstances surrounding the alleged incident at Kerugoya School for the Deaf, including the actions taken by the school administration and relevant authorities following the arrest of the teacher. 2, an explanation as to why the teacher was allowed to continue teaching at the special learning school while allegedly facing defilement charges before a court of law. 3, disciplinary actions, if any, taken against the school administration for the alleged failure to take appropriate action against the teacher, despite him having allegedly engaged in similar actions prior to this incident. And lastly, interventions being taken by the government to provide psychosocial support to the victims, their families, and to prevent the recurrence of similar incidents in learning institutions across our country. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Njeri. Chair Education. I thought I saw Melly walk in. Owen? When can...
You're a member of the committee.
Can you bring a response?
I think McClap is a member of the committee. Probably
McClap?
he could undertake on behalf of the chair.
Can you bring the response?
Yes.
The first Wednesday upon resumption from the short recess?
Much obliged, Mr. Speaker.
That will be on 1st of April.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.
But the first, Mr. Speaker, is a fool's day, so...
Yes, but don't come to fool us.
I don't come with fool's answer.
Yes. It is a fool's day for fools out there, not in this house. Yes, Tungule, on the same?
No, it's
Yes, you said you wanted to find out about a response to an earlier statement you requested. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On the 15th of October last year, 2025, I requested for a statement from the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence, Foreign Affairs regarding the death and burial.
Tungule.
Yes.
If you asked on 15th of October before the long recess,
yes,
it elapsed.
Yeah.
And when we came back, I directed that any member who had a statement that had lapsed should go to the office where you deposit those statements, the table office,
yeah,
and resurrect your statements. Did you do so?
Actually, I missed that communication, Mr. Speaker.
So you discontinue what you are saying, take your seat, and go to the table office and embark on resurrecting your statement. Once you do so, I'll allocate you time to request once more. If you do it this afternoon, I can slot you for Thursday. Allow me, honorable members, to also acknowledge in the Speaker's Gallery Kabare girls from Gishugu, Kirinyaga. I've been asked by Kasheri to welcome the students. She says she went to that school. Kasheri?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. It is indeed an honor to welcome the girls to the 13th Parliament. And I just want to encourage them and tell them that I was once a student at Kapare Girls. My dormitory was Longonot. We used to call it Long T. And I used to be the music captain. So I also used to offer some entertainment if you talked to me nicely. So I want to tell them that we are here because this country and the 2010 Constitution has afforded women to be leaders. And it has given a clear guideline that once women are given the opportunity, they can lead and they can perform. We have governors who are female, and I know for a fact that in the near future, we will have a female president. If it is not one of us on this floor today, it must be one of you girls seated up there. So please put in the hard work. Remember to protect your dignity. Remember that we are doing this to shape the path for you. God bless you.
You've said everything except welcoming them to Parliament. Yes. Did you? Thank you, Kasheri. Next order. Honorable members, those who have an interest in the issue of the policy on hardship areas, the Prime Cabinet Secretary was supposed to come to the House tomorrow to give a statement on the issue. I've received communication that is out of the country, and therefore, Owen Bayer, you organize with your office to have him here the first Wednesday on resumption after the short recess. That Wednesday will be 1st April.
Much obliged, Honorable Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 8, motion, consideration of the 2026 budget policy statement. Question to be put.
Members at the bar, take the nearest seats. Thank you, honorable members. I'll now put the question at order number 8, which is that this House adopts the report. This House adopts the report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on the Budget Policy Statement, BPS, for the financial year 2026-27, and a compendium of departmental committee reports on the 2026 Budget Policy Statement laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 4th March 2026, and pursuant the provisions of Section 25(7) of the Public Finance Management Act, Cap 412A, and Standing Order 2329 and 10A, approves the Budget Policy Statement for the financial year 2026-2027. B, makes the following financial resolutions with respect to the Budget Policy Statement. Roman 1, that the national government budget ceiling be approved at Kenya shillings 2,878,426,500,000, of which 1, the executive, of which executive 2,797,202,700,000, of which Office of the Auditor General, Kenya shillings 9,026,300,000, 2, Parliament 50,782,000,000, 3, Judiciary 30,441,800,000. That the allocation to county government's equitable share be approved at Kenya shillings 420 billion. That consistent with the latest audited and approved revenues, the allocation to the equalization fund be set at 9,602,170,425. That the county government additional allocations be approved at Kenya shillings 75,692,700,182 as per the fourth schedule to the report, which shall form the basis for the county government additional allocation bill for the financial year 2026-2027. That the allocation for the public participation initiatives be approved at Kenya shillings 4 billion under vote 1071 of the National Treasury, and resolves that 1, consistent with the resolution of the House of 3rd March 2026 on the 2026 medium-term debt strategy, the fiscal deficit be maintained at 5.3% of the gross domestic product, GDP. 2, the first schedule to the order paper forms the basis for the ceilings for the financial year 2026-27 budget estimates. 3, that the policy resolutions contained in the second schedule to the order paper, non-financial recommendations relating to the budget policy statement for the financial year 2026-2027 shall form the basis for financial year 2026-2027 budget estimates. And 4, the minimal adjustments in the gross ceilings in the second schedule to the report be accommodated in the revenue yield expected from ongoing tax administration reforms and the enhanced funding to Kenya Revenue Authority. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 9, the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 2 of 2026. Second reading.
Honorable members, I'm sure you know that the Division of Revenue Bill is actually a regurgitation of the budget policy statement. The House Business Committee did indicate and decide that we will take the shortest time possible on this motion so that we can go to the committee of the whole House. So Atandi, you may move, have your seconder, and let's see how we move thereafter.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, before I move the bill on the Division of Revenue, I want first of all to thank the House for the adoption of the BPS 2026, which has just occurred. Honorable Speaker, the adoption of the BPS now paves the way for consideration of the Division of Revenue Bill. And Honorable Speaker, Division of Revenue Bill, essentially the main purpose of the bill is to share nationally raised resources between national government and the county government. And Honorable Speaker, the formula for sharing is based on the most recent audited accounts.
Honorable Atandi, I prefer that you have no preamble to moving the bill.
Okay.
Just move the bill.
Okay, thank you. So, Honorable Speaker, I would like just to make a few remarks before I move the bill.
That's what I'm discouraging you from doing.
Okay.
You can make those few remarks within the context of moving the bill.
Okay. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Division of Revenue Bill 2026
I beg to move that the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 2 of 2026 be now read a second time.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 2 be now read a second time. Thank you. Honorable Speaker, just like I mentioned, the purpose of this bill is to allocate resources raised nationally between the county government and the national government. Honorable Speaker, the House having adopted the BPS 2026, now it is the turn of the House to consider this bill. Honorable Speaker, this bill, Division of Revenue Bill, is anchored on Article 218, and it has very, very specific timelines. The law says that the bill must be passed 2 months before the end of the financial year. Honorable Speaker, this bill is aligned with that, the requirement of the Article 218. Honorable Speaker, the consideration of this bill must meet the contents of the Article 218, which also outlines that, Honorable Speaker, we must peg it on the most recent audited accounts of revenues. Honorable Speaker, for this case, the most recent audited accounts of revenues, which has already been passed by the House, is the revenues for 2022-2023 financial year. Honorable Speaker, I also would like to add that the schedule of the bill provides that the total shareable revenue for the year 2026-2027 is estimated at 2,901,874,751,144. And the allocation is as follows. One, national government share is 2,472,272,587,719. County government equitable share, 420 billion. Equalization fund, 9,602,170,425. Honorable Speaker, I just want to emphasize that as we consider this bill, as we consider this bill, I must indicate that the sharing is a vertical sharing. The sharing is a vertical sharing, and as I've said, the most recent audited revenues are those for the financial year 2022-2023. Honorable Speaker, this bill also contains the equalization fund. Honorable Speaker, under Article 204 sub 1 of the Constitution provides that 0.5% of the revenue collected by the national government each year, based on the most recent audited and approved accounts of revenue by the National Assembly, be paid into the fund. Honorable Speaker, the law requires that before we consider any bill, we must engage in excessive public participation. And I would like to report to the House that the Budget and Appropriations Committee did engage in excessive public participation, and we were able to talk to various institutions, including the Council of Governors, the Commission of Revenue Allocation, the Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee, IGTRC, Intergovernmental Budget and Economic Council, IBEC, and we also spoke to the National Treasury, among other stakeholders, Honorable Speaker. And this report is based on the input that we received from those stakeholders, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we received also memorandum from other stakeholders, including the private sector and the civil society. Honorable Speaker, as you rightfully said, that this bill is aligned to the BPS statement which you have just passed. Therefore, I would not like to engage in more further discussions because this bill mirrors what was discussed. And Honorable Speaker, we engaged in extensive discussions when we were going through the BPS last week. So, Honorable Speaker, I don't want to spend more time. I just want to indicate that National Treasury has been meeting the arrears of the Equalization Fund over the years, that we have not been able to factor in all the arrears. So in this bill, there's an allocation of 5.6 billion, which is going to be partial payments of arrears to the Equalization Fund, which now brings the total allocations to the fund at 15.2 billion for the financial year 2026-2027. Honorable Speaker, Article 218, sub 2 of the Constitution, and Section 191, sub 5 of the PFM Act require the National Treasury to give reasons for any deviation between their proposal for equitable revenue sharing between the two levels of government and the CRA proposal. Honorable Speaker, CRA had proposed 454 billion as shareable revenue to counties, while National Treasury proposed 420 billion in the bill. Now, the deviation, Honorable Speaker, reasons given for the deviation on revenue sharing include the following: that National Treasury projects the shareable revenue for 2026-2027 at 2.901.9 trillion, whereas CRA has a revenue projection amounting to 2.982 trillion. Honorable Speaker, this is a difference of 80.9 billion. The National Treasury attributed their comparatively modest revenue projection to major economic shocks that are likely to negatively affect forecasted revenue in 2026-2027, whereas CRA projection is based on yearly revenue growth. To equitable share, Honorable Speaker, the National Treasury proposes to allocate 2.472.3 trillion to the national government, 420 billion to county government, and 15.2 billion to equalization fund. This is inclusive of 5.6 billion in arrears, whereas CRA proposes allocation of 2.512 trillion to national government and 9.6 billion to the respective institutions. Honorable Speaker, the CRA recommendations are partly informed by high estimated shareable revenue and the inclusion of attendant total resources for remuneration to UHC workers. Honorable Speaker, UHC workers, these are workers that were hired when we had the crisis of COVID crisis. So, Honorable Speaker, their pay is normally factored in the county additional allocations bill. But, Honorable Speaker, the CRA recommends that these resources be moved as part of county share allocations. So, Honorable Speaker, this means that their recommendation is higher than what the National Treasury has proposed, because National Treasury has proposed that the resources be retained under the County Government Additional Allocations Bill. Honorable Speaker, as I wind up, I would like to say that just like we said it when I was considering the BPS, that we are hoping that this financial year, the coming financial year, we are likely to raise more resources because of the reforms that have been recommended for KRA and the resources that have been allocated way above what they have been given in the past. So, Honorable Speaker, if in case we are able to achieve those resources, then maybe we will be able to add more resources to counties. But, Honorable Speaker, because of previous cases where we have not been able to meet our revenue projections, I cannot be optimistic at this stage that we are able to allocate counties more resources. Honorable Speaker, of course, there are also other political factors that must be considered when we will be going to the division of revenue, when we will be going to the mediation between the Senate and the National Assembly. Then the other factors will be considered. I'm listening to my leader, the Honorable Junet Mohammed, and I want to assure you that this is part process of going through the sharing of resources. And there are other more stages that are going to come ahead of us. When we get to those stages, then the allocations to counties most likely will go up. So I want to assure you, Honorable Junet Mohammed, not to worry about my presentation on the floor of the House as far as this bill is concerned. Honorable Speaker, I would like to move and ask the Honorable Makali Mulu to second.
Thank you. Who is seconding? Makali Mulu.
Makali Mulu.
Go ahead, Makali.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I take this opportunity to second the Division of Revenue Bill 2026, Honorable Speaker. And as my chairman has said, Honorable Speaker, this focuses on vertical sharing of national revenue. Honorable Speaker, is well informed by the BPS, which you have just passed, Honorable Speaker. But even as we approve this Division of Revenue Bill, Honorable Speaker, there are about 3 or 4 issues which I think is important and worthy the House noting, so that as we move to the future, we are able to get it right. The first thing, Honorable Speaker, is the issue of the audited reports. Honorable Speaker, you realize that as we are doing the budget policy statement, we are using the figures of 2020-2021 financial year, because those are the ones which had been audited and approved by the House. That is about 4 years behind, Honorable Speaker. And it means really the figures we are using, then they don't really reflect the reality as it is on the ground. Honorable Speaker, with the latest approval which has just taken place, we are now dealing with the figures of 2022-2023, which now pushes again to about 2 years behind, Honorable Speaker. So this, I think, is an area as House. We need, Honorable Speaker, to see how we can fast track so that we help the counties get their rightful share in terms of revenue sharing, Honorable Speaker. The second issue, Honorable Speaker, is the issue of the projected revenue, Honorable Speaker. If you look at the figures being proposed by the CRA, the figures we are proposing as a House, and the figures the Council of Governors are proposing, Honorable Speaker, they are all different figures. Why are they different? They're different basically because we are not getting it right in terms of projected revenue, Honorable Speaker. So I think in the area of national revenue, Honorable Speaker, that's another area we need to improve. We need to come up with a framework which to some extent can minimize these deviations by different organizations. Because CRA is proposing about 454 billion, honorable members. And now we are proposing 420. And when you look at the analysis, the difference is basically because of the revenue figures. So I think we really need to get it right. The third point, Honorable Speaker, is that despite that every year we give these figures, of late there has been a tendency where the counties are not getting their money by the end of the closure of the financial year, Honorable Speaker. Like last year, we actually closed with about 34 billion, which had not been released, Honorable Speaker. And I think this is another area that once we approve these figures then, the national government through Treasury should make an effort of releasing the funds as passed in the Act. So by doing that, Honorable Speaker, we'll be able to enable the counties implement as they are planned, Honorable Speaker, because every year they do their annual budgets. And if we don't release the resources, Honorable Speaker, then we have that challenge. So those 3 areas, Honorable Speaker, those are areas we can really mention as we approve this bill. And then the last one, Honorable Speaker, is the issue of, the issue of costing the devolved functions. If you look at the latest report, Honorable Speaker, by the Intergovernmental Committee, the indication was that we still have about 60 billion worth of functions, which are still at the headquarters, and they should be devolved. So I think that's another area as a house. We need to help the national government so that they devolve those functions. And the law is very clear. Once you devolve functions, Honorable Speaker, you also then devolve the resources for those functions. I think if you go that direction, Honorable Speaker, then we'll be able to give the counties their rightful share, and then we'll be making the right law for the counties. Those my remarks, Honorable Speaker, I second. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Members on their feet, take your seats. Take your seats. Honourable members, I'll now propose the question at order number 9, which is that the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 2 of 2026, be now read a second time. Yes, Owen?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I support DORA, or the Division of Revenue Bill, Honorable Speaker. And I want to say the following 3 things, Honorable Speaker. 1, the Division of Revenue is a very important piece of legislation that comes every financial year, Honorable Speaker, and it's part of the budget cycle. But, Honorable Speaker, suffice it to note that we are using accounts of 2020, 2021, Honorable Speaker. I want to call this a constitutional infringement on counties. Because if we were using the current accounts, Honorable Speaker, probably these counties would get more money. But you see, we are using accounts that have been, they are 4 years late, and therefore denying counties.
To whom are you complaining?
No, I'm not complaining, Honorable Speaker.
I also heard Makali Mulu saying the same thing.
I will put the blame on the right place, Honorable Speaker. I'll put the blame on the right place. Just allow me to proceed.
Go on.
Because, Honorable Speaker, these accounts get audited and they come to a committee, Honorable Speaker, committee of this House. And I think the committees of this House, especially the audit committees, Honorable Speaker, need to work faster so that we are up to date. And I think that would be a legacy for this Parliament. Whatever we can do, Honorable Speaker, so that we can fast track and bring the accounts, the audited accounts, up to date, Honorable Speaker, it will be helpful, Honorable Speaker, to this country, and it would help to anchor devolution properly. The second thing I want to address, Honorable Speaker, is the issue that happens at the counties, especially on the issues of pending bills. And I keep on asking myself, why are we accruing a lot of pending bills in the counties? Is it because Treasury releases funds late? Is it because of the exigencies of the governors and county governments, Honorable Speaker? Or where is the problem? And why is it that we as a country are not properly addressing pending bills at the county government? Because, you see, I have seen deliberate efforts at the national level, Honorable Speaker, to address the issue of pending bills. And I think on the road sector, the national government has done very well to pay off the pending bills. But each year, Honorable Speaker, we have an increase of pending bills in counties, Honorable Speaker. Much as we give them money, Honorable Speaker, and we decide on the funds, Honorable Speaker, we actually need to. If the Senate, Honorable Speaker, is unable to hold to account these governors and counties, Honorable Speaker, probably this House needs to, so that the money that we appropriate for counties, Honorable Speaker, really gets the value that we expect to get. The third thing, Honorable Speaker, is that there are certain areas that as we appropriate funds to counties that probably do not get justice when these funds get there, Honorable, especially on the Speaker. These are things that are recurrent in nature, but matter very much, Honorable Speaker, in terms of bringing those counties to the same level as others, Honorable Speaker. And I think these are issues as we appropriate funds that we need to tell those that we give the funds to, especially the division of of revenue and the money that goes to the account. We want more accountability. We want more proper usage. We want efficiency in the usage of funds as they go there, Honorable, to the county. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I support.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to contribute to the Division of Revenue Bill, which is a routine annual bill as provided for in the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Honorable Speaker, as I support, allow me to make 2 comments on the same. I want to reiterate the comments by the whip plus Dr. Makali Mulu on the issue of the accuracy of the data that we are using for the division of revenue between the national government and the county government. Truth of the matter, Honorable Speaker, I think for this particular year, we are using the auditors accounts of 2022-2023. And why are we lagging behind, Honorable Speaker? And I want to appeal to the House leadership that the Office of the Auditor General dutifully and as required by the Constitution submit the audited accounts on time, as required by the Constitution and the Public Audit Act. However, either it's a matter of backlog or the Parliamentary Service Commission has not provided adequate facilitation and logistics to enable the Committee of Public Accounts Committee to update and come to speed. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to appeal to you as the Chair of Public Service Commission and the technical team to go back and look at ways and modalities to ensure that before this Parliament ends next year, we could be as much as possible up to date with the consideration the public audit, the reports. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, I met my governor on Saturday, Dr. Paul Nyongeso Tuoma, and indicated to me that there had been an agreement somewhere that the counties this financial year will receive 450 billion. Probably what I'm seeing here is 420. Probably off record, I'll ask my neighbor, the chairman of Budget Appropriation Committee, to explain to me, because the expectations outside there, that because of the ongoing discussion, that the amount is going to be taken 450 billion, so that we can have truly integrated devolution as was required, or as expected in the NADCO report and the 10-point agenda. That's a debate. I leave the people of Kenya to have a discussion on the same. Honorable Speaker, the issue of delayed disbursement again keeps on recurring. Many of the governors are routinely complaining, it's either by design or by happenstance, that the money is either delivered or disbursed the very last day, which makes it impossible to absorb the same, or they never disbursed on time. Honorable Speaker, that's the sentiment. How factual it is, that's how we can check on the disbursement schedule from the National Treasury. However, Honorable Speaker, I've heard somewhere today in some report that alleges that all counties receive their monies timeously and the devolution has been entrenched. Honorable Speaker, I find it very interesting that we could be talking at cross purpose, so probably also leave it to the people outside the Kenyans to determine who is telling the truth. Are they the Council of Governors or some fun reports that is circulating in the social media arising out of some committee that has presented some report? Honorable Speaker, thirdly, on the issue of accountability, the bleeding and the hemorrhage in the counties still remains one of the biggest problems. One of the biggest problems. Yet we have institutions charged with oversight in the counties, county governments, that's the respective county assemblies, the Senate. We have bodies charged with ensuring this accountability, that's the EACC and the other investigative bodies. The question we beg on asking, do we lack capacity? Do we lack political goodwill? Or is it because the governors have now have very close relationship with the national executive that they're being shielded from prosecution so that we can feel the weight of devolution as envisaged by Baba Raila Odinga. Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, the issue of pending bills remains a monster that we must find a way of getting solved. Counties are unable to provide or pay their bills on time. Because of this regard, the amount of suffering the suppliers are going through, the contractors are going through, plus their families, is becoming unbearable, and this is making this devolution, people start to regret, was their devolution required or not? With those few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I support the bill, and I hope the strategies.
Are you a trader? You need trading capital, and our funded trader program is for you. Get funded with up to $2 million of capital, make profits, and keep up to 95% of it. Become a professional trader backed by our prop firm's Sim Capital. You don't have any time limits to pass your evaluation. Get your first payout on demand, even 72 hours after passing. Enjoy raw spreads on the best trading platforms. It's time to take your trading game to the next level. Sign up with GFT starting from $30.
For giving me this opportunity to contribute to the Division of Revenue Bill. Mr. Speaker, this is a constitutional requirement under our Constitution that we have this annual bill in the name of Division of Revenue Bill. And Mr. Speaker, it is very important as a House that we approve this bill because, Honorable Speaker, as you know that the bill will enable the counties to plan their budgets. Mr. Speaker, once this bill is approved, the counties, including the county assemblies, they will be able to plan their budget based on what they are going to receive from this Division of Revenue Bill. Mr. Speaker, the Division of Revenue Bill operationalizes devolution by ensuring, Mr. Speaker, that the counties receive their funding and make sure that there is an equitable development across the counties. And Mr. Speaker, as we do this as a House, as a National Assembly, Mr. Speaker, this bill, once approved, will be taken to the Senate. And Mr. Speaker, you will find sometimes that at the Senate, they want to amend the bill to increase what this House or what the Budget Committee has provided that is going to be the shareable revenue for the counties. Yet, Mr. Speaker, as a country, we need to work within our budget, what we have. We share what we have. We cannot budget what we don't have, Mr. Speaker. So, and even, Mr. Speaker, as we approve this bill, we would want to see that all the monies which are going to the counties, we would want to see our improved health centers, the county hospitals, because this is basically, Mr. Speaker, as to why we are appropriating these resources to the counties. But sometimes you go to the counties, Mr. Speaker, you go to an hospital, many people, many patients who are going to the county hospitals, and then you will find that when they are there, they are told they are not medicine or drugs in those hospitals. They are given prescriptions to go and buy outside, to look elsewhere. So there must be an accountability, Mr. Speaker, on the monies we are giving out to the counties. Mr. Speaker, From the pending bills we have as a country, and the budget committee chair is here, will tell you that the big percentage of the pending bills we have as a country is also at our counties. The counties, they are not paying suppliers, especially when there is a successive regime, or when there is a change of regime at the counties. Once a new governor comes in, Honorable Speaker, he comes and starts a new projects altogether, and the projects which were initiated by the previous governor gets told, Mr. Speaker, government exists by perpetuity, Mr. Speaker. Whoever comes in must be able to proceed to make sure that the projects which were started by the previous governor must be completed, because the contractors at the counties are Kenyans. These are people who have gone to the banks to borrow some loans and to do business with the counties. So, Mr. Speaker, as we work on, as a house, to approve this bill, there is need for our friends at the Senate to make sure that they hold the governors accountable of these resources we are giving them. So, Mr. Speaker, I just want to ask also our county assemblies. They are the first line of oversight. But you will find that our county assemblies, they are in bed with our governors. So we want to ask our county assemblies to make sure that our governors are accountable to the county assemblies, so that the resources which we are giving them, we are appropriating them, and this in this house and as a parliament, Mr. Speaker, goes towards helping our people. With those many remarks, I support, Mr. Speaker.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi leo niweze kuzungumzia makadirio ya bajeti, Mheshimiwa Spika, ama mgao ambao unaenda katika national government na county government. Mheshimiwa Spika, kwanza ningeweza kumpongeza chair wa budget na kikosi chake chote kwa kufanya usawa. Mheshimiwa Spika, muda mrefu counties wamekuwa wakilalamika wakisema mgao wao ni mdogo, na kweli tumekuwa tukiona kwa muda mrefu wamekuwa kuna mambo mengi sana waweza wakajifanyia, Mheshimiwa Spika, na hasa ukiangalia upande wa disaster na mambo mengi. Hospitali saa zingine unaambiwa madawa hakuna, barabara kule zimeharibika. Lakini pia Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nataka niseme hivi, haya makadirio ambayo yameweka leo ni ya kuweza kuwasaidia waweze kurun counties vizuri, Mheshimiwa Spika. Lakini pia hatutaki kusikia kuwa pesa zimeingia county na bado watu wanakosa madawa hospitali, barabara na miundo msingi kwa mbaya, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na kwanza ningependa kusema hata katika hii makadirio tuangalie tu pia mambo ya disaster, manake juzi na jana tumeona mvua imenyesha kubwa sana na imeharibu sehemu kubwa. Kwa hiyo kama pia wao magavana waweza, na wao wanapata hii disaster fund, najua wanapata, wao wakiangalia vizuri miundo misingi, waweze kutengeza zile barabara ambazo zinahusika na county, waweze kuangalia kuwa mashimo ambayo yameziba yote yamezibua, kwa sababu huu msimu wa mvua tutakuja kuona mambo mengi sana. Kwa hiyo wao wanajitayarisha katika mambo haya badala ya kulia. Najua sisi jana na juzi hapa tulikuja tukaongezea pesa ikafika bilioni 415, na hapa naona pia wameongezewa zingine katika haya makadirio. Na pia leo nimemsikia rais akisema kuna ile 70 bilioni ambayo pia ilikuwa iko kwenye mgao wao, yote inafika zaidi ya karibu nusu ya trilioni, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo mimi napenda tu kusema hizi pesa zikiingia mashinani lazima zifanye kazi, na ningekuwa na raha sana kama ningeona pia sisi kina mama county makadirio yetu yamewekwa humu, lakini najua kuna mambo mengine ambayo yanaendelea mpaka yamalizwe na yatatuliwe kwanza ndio tuweze kujua NGCDF na NGAF tunaenda vipi, kwa sababu hata sisi kazi ambayo tunafanya Mheshimiwa Spika ni kazi ngumu sana, na ni kazi ambayo watu ni wengi lakini mgao ni kidogo. Kwa hiyo mimi niwaambie hata la taifa kuu hizi pesa ambazo wanapata, vile rais anasema, lazima makadirio vile yamewekwa, pesa zikishuka chini zishuke kwa mambo ambayo yanaonyesha ujenzi wa taifa kikamilifu. Na nimpongeze kwa sababu amekazana na amefanya kazi nzuri sana. Hata hizi akiongezewa, najua hizi pesa haziwe kwenda mbaya kwa sehemu mbaya, kwa sababu rais amebainisha hata ile affordable housing pesa zikienda, sisi tulikuwa tunasema hii ni biashara mingine, lakini Mheshimiwa Spika ameweza kutuprove na akaonyesha kwa kuonyesha waziwazi kuwa nyumba ndio hizi zinajengwa na watu wanaingia, watu wametolewa katika sehemu mbovu. Kwa hiyo pesa ya national government tumeona ikifanya kazi vizuri sana, na mimi nasema county government mmelia sana, jumba hili liko hapa kuwasaidia, lakini pia tukiwasaidia na nyinyi kule chini, manake tuwajua health imekuwa devolved, mambo ya education kidogo ECD, tuone na watoto chakula wanapata vizuri shuleni, darasa zao ziko sawa, ile miundo misingi ambayo inashughulikiwa na county ama maendeleo ya county tuwe tunaona, Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa sababu tuliona magazeti yakiandika kuwa kuna wengine ambao hata hawakuweza kutumia pesa kwenye maendeleo. Mheshimiwa Spika, pesa nyingi zilichukuliwa zikawekwa kwenye mishahara. Mimi niseme tu magavana wetu muwe wabunifu, hizi pesa zikishuka chini muonyeshe wananchi kuwa kweli ugatuzi unafanya kazi, ndio tuweze kujua kweli hizi pesa hata mkitaka tuongezee kila siku tutaongeza, lakini tuone umuhimu wa pesa. Kwa hiyo haya makadirio yako sawa kabisa Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi nataka niwapongeze ambao wameiandaa hii, na nipongeze pia juhudi ya rais kusema kuwa hawezi kuchukua loan kutoka nje. Mheshimiwa Spika, ilikuwa tukipiga kelele hapa sana wakati wa budget ikifika, kwa sababu ilikuwa tunaona pesa zinakopwa sana, lakini rais amejibidisha na amesema anataka Kenya iwe loan free, na amekataa tena hachukui loan hata ile pesa infrastructure ambayo alikuwa anasema ile trillions ambayo imepitishwa jana na juzi. Mheshimiwa Spika, hizi si pesa ambazo zitakatwa wananchi, wala si pesa ambazo zitaombwa kule nje. Ni pesa ambayo rais anatumia njia yake na mbinu ya kutafuta katika vitu ambavyo viko hapa ndani ya taifa letu, ili kuwekeza katika mambo ambayo yataweza kusaidia taifa. Kwa hiyo Wakenya wajue, Kenya pia hatuwezi kuwa watu wa kukopa. Ikiwa tumelipa Eurobond, pesa yote imekamilika, lazima tumpongeze rais kwa kazi nzuri ambayo anafanya. Ila tu mimi niseme wale ambao wanashughulika na haya mapeni kule chini, kuna sekta tofauti tofauti, pesa za equalization fund na pesa zingine zikija kwenu, hakikisheni hizi pesa mnazifanyia kazi, ili tusiweze kulaumu mtu mmoja wakati kuna mtu ambaye amekaa kando ndo anafanya ubadhirifu. Mheshimiwa Spika, na wakati mwingine pia Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi kama mama county naomba next time chairman wa budget tukumbuke pia sisi kina mama county, tuwekee vitu hapo kidogo kidogo ziweze kutusaidia huko chini, mambo pia ni magumu kwetu. Mheshimiwa Spika, asante sana, na ninapongeza kamati ambayo imeandaa hii. Asante sana.
Martha Wangari.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I right to support this bill, I want to note, Mr. Speaker, that this House has dutifully undertaken its duty in DORA every year, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that money reaches the counties at the right time. And Mr. Speaker, if you look at the amount that we are speaking about right here, and you mirror it to CDF, Mr. Speaker, it is over $1 billion versus almost an average of 150 million per constituency, Mr. Speaker. And that then means, Mr. Speaker, that we should have more done by this money than we are currently seeing. Mr. Speaker, devolution was meant to change a few things in the counties. And Mr. Speaker, we are still struggling with basics, ECDs, Mr. Speaker, primary health, because what this was supposed to do, Mr. Speaker, was to ensure that the referral hospitals only dealt with referral cases, Mr. Speaker. The issue of dispensaries and health centers all the way to level 4, Mr. Speaker, should have been effectively being dealt by the county governments, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, to ease the problems that we have in Kenyatta, in MTRH, in Eldoret, Mr. Speaker, we would by now have ensured that issues like immunization, HIV management, Mr. Speaker, typhoid, common colds, they should not get their ways to Kenyatta, Mr. Speaker, because at any level, at the dispensary, at the health centers, these issues will be sorted. But Mr. Speaker, allow me to speak to one issue I see that is a problem with the county governments. Mr. Speaker, we speak over 400 billion right now, but don't forget, Mr. Speaker, we still have other monies. Just recently, the Treasury actually released the list of the 36 counties that are to benefit from World Bank, more than 6 billion. 6.7 billion, Mr. Speaker. And what we are seeing in the counties, Mr. Speaker, is that the World Bank projects are being flaunted like the main projects that are being done by the county governments. Mr. Speaker, you'll come to Gilgil and you'll find Cabro works being done in the town, but it is not the county government allocation, Mr. Speaker, it is the World Bank. You go to climate change works, Mr. Speaker, you find FLOCA, which is a World Bank, which is also a World Bank supported fund, doing a lot in the counties and in the constituencies, Mr. Speaker, but it is not the county government allocation. So, Mr. Speaker, governors must also stop hiding behind the World Bank and the National Treasury appropriated projects to fool Kenyans and to fool members of their counties that this is the money they are getting in this allocation, Mr. Speaker. Allocation, therefore, must be accounted for to the shillings as on a standard alone item, Mr. Speaker, and not to be just camouflaged through the World Bank projects. Mr. Speaker, the other issue I'll speak about is the issue of oversight. Mr. Speaker, I get very discouraged when we are trying to get CSS to this floor to answer questions, yet we have the mandate to oversight the national executive, but they are answering questions in the Senate. Mr. Speaker, we have to get to a point, whether it is this dispensation or the next, but for posterity, Mr. Speaker, we must get to a point where the attention of the Senate is basically on the governors, Mr. Speaker. The appearance of the CSS in the Senate has derailed that mandate, Mr. Speaker. So they end up spending all the time, and Mr. Speaker, they do not answer to them in matters of budget. They cannot even have a censure motion or an impeachment, Mr. Speaker, because their mandate is limited. Mr. Speaker, we have to get to a point where the governors know that when the questions are asked in the Senate, they are able to answer. That way, Mr. Speaker, we'll be able to get the county governments to be accountable and to ensure that we have that we have actually streamlined what the county governments are supposed to do. Mr. Speaker, that way, our people can be able to deal with the issues that affect the counties. Mr. Speaker, the issues that the counties are allocated by Schedule 4 are very basic, like I said. Mr. Speaker, this issue of drainage, the floodings we are seeing every day, you'll find, Mr. Speaker, a county government has 8,000, like Nakuru or more, workers that you do not know what they do, Mr. Speaker. We should be able to ensure that anytime there is a crisis like the flooding crisis, Mr. Speaker, these workers are able to ensure that the drainages are unclogged in time. And Mr. Speaker, we know when the meteorologist says it's going to rain. So, Mr. Speaker, this is what we are supposed to do, to see in every town, in every center, the rural roads, Mr. Speaker, ensuring that the zero mileage and zero distribution of fertilizer is taken to the doorstep of farmers, Mr. Speaker. That is the support we need to in the county government. So, Mr. Speaker, as I support, I hope that the counties can read what can actually adhere to what they should do, can adhere to their mandate, the MCA is the same, and Mr. Speaker, more importantly, the Senate. That way we can be able to ensure that oversight is clear and we are not duplicating or missing the point in terms of supporting devolution. With that, Mr. Speaker, I support.
Nabi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support the bill. Mr. Speaker, I want to start by saying the Constitution 2010, Schedule 4, identifies and allocates functions to each level of government. And as we know, money follows functions. The counties, as we know them, they receive money for early child development, education, health, agriculture, roads, to mention but a few. Mr. Speaker, my concern is that as we allocate this money, as the national government develops basic education, primary, junior school, secondary school, in many of the counties, the foundation is missing. You have a good primary school, it has no ECD. You have enough teachers for primary school, counties have no teachers. For the ECD, it raises the question, do we need to recalibrate so that in the years to come, as we look at the division of revenue bill, it should be accompanied by an audited, functional record of what is happening in the counties. Today, Mr. Speaker, if you went to the constituencies, all county roads are impassable. And yet, we allocate money for the same. Mr. Speaker, with the rains and the changing patterns of weather, you will find that the ECD children are unable to go to school because they are missing classes. What they have is makeshift classes. In some counties, they are even attending lessons in churches. This calls for, Mr. Speaker, developing much more than what we know as accountability mechanism. I'm recommending that the many non-state actors who have been following us on CDF and Gov money, they should spend much more time developing social accountability mechanism to hold county governments and governors accountable. Mr. Speaker, this country is going to have a crisis, and this is the crisis. We allocate money using this bill. Then, thereafter, there will be something here for conditional grants. Then, the very counties get money from World Bank. What then happens, they use money for conditional grants, they use money from World Bank, and the money we allocate through the division of revenue it's not accounted for. In some counties, despite having a basic minimum, a basic bearing of 35% at least on development, they have as less as 10, 15. And the controller has pointed out the mismatch between spending for development and spending for recurrent expenditure. I'm more worried where the national government goes to take over projects started by county governments. And the same county governments, when you look in the budget, they still reflect money to those projects. From my understanding, we are doing double counting. So one level of government is lying, and this is the county government. I would like to insist that where the national government wants...
Yes, Owen Baya, also point of order.
You know, I'm a very good student of one Martin Shikuku, who said that the word lying is not parliamentary.
Indeed, Honorable Nabi, lying is not parliamentary language, misleading.
It's misleading. One level of government is misleading.
Excellent.
But for sure, Mr. Speaker, when I pick money from you, with an intention of helping Atandi, for example, and I don't do it, what would I have done?
Cheating.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I was saying...
Yes, Nguzia. Nguna, what is your point of order?
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. I am just wondering. How can you eat money? How do you eat money, actually?
Are you the only stranger in Jerusalem? Go on.
Mr. Speaker, my recommendation is where the national government wants to assist a county government on a project that they have started and they are unable, they should take over the whole project. And that project becomes a national government project. That is the only way we can ensure we are getting value for money. And both the levels of government remain accountable. Finally, Mr. Speaker, this parliament needs to think through ourselves and the Senate. Whether we are not duplicating functions by allowing national, state officers, the principal secretaries, to go and answer issues that they have answered in National Assembly to Senate. I'm raising this to support what Honorable Wangare said, that actually the Senate is instead chasing shadows and leaving the really envelope, which is called county governments. They need to spend more time holding county governments accountable, because what is going on in the county governments is not anything near accountability. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support.
Yes, Kitur.
Honorable Speaker, I stand on a point of order 95. The reading the mood of the House, Honorable Speaker, that the mover be called to reply.
Honorable members, he's got a valid point of order, but let's have some middle ground. This bill reflects virtually what you discussed in the BPS. In the interest of good time management, I see a few members who want to say something. Can I limit your time to about 2 minutes, 3 minutes? Or let's agree, it is now 4:28. Can we close this debate at 5 and go into committee? Remember, these are constitutionally time-bound bills. So if we'll do up to 5, and I see several hands up, let me use my discretion to give you 3 minutes each. Maclap? Remember,
thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Charles Dickens said, if you can't make your point in 2 minutes, you are unlikely to make any point in 1 hour.
Mr. Speaker, you have already eaten my 40 seconds. Mr. Speaker, I rise first of all to support his Division of Revenue Bill, Bill number 2 of 2026. Mr. Speaker, notwithstanding the contradictions that in this bill, it is 420. Elsewhere, it is 450. But I will heavily rely on the truth of this, because this is what we said, this is what was contained in the BBS. I will not go to the other side. Why, Mr. Speaker, is because why are we continuously increasing resources for county governments without knowing what kind of functions are following these particular resources? The resources, if we increase it from 385, what then did we take again to county governments so that it warrants an additional amount? And then subsequently, up to now, when we are saying we are proposing 420 billion to county government. It means there could be some functions in between last year and now that have been devolved to the county governments, and therefore functions, resources follow functions. So, Speaker, we must become truthful in this country. We are not going to allow resources of taxpayers of this country to continuously go to people when they change regimes in the county government. They add more employees even when there is no space for or need to employ more. or even stalling projects because another governor was having that particular resources. So, Speaker, it is therefore prudent that going forward, when this bill is brought to the House and there is an additional resources from previous financial year, then we should be told, because they now have this and these functions that have been taken to the county governments, therefore we need an additional resources to follow the functions. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, is the accountability. So, Speaker, the health care in the county governments, even if we have a functional share, what is share without medicine? You go there with share working, but the medicine is not there. And yet we have report from this House that resources are being sent to the county governments on time. In fact, when you go to the villages, Mr. Speaker, the MCS are saying MPs have not released the money. The money is held in Nairobi. And yet the truth of the matter is they receive resources on good time. And they don't provide the necessary medicine to to the dispensaries in our rural areas. So, Speaker, the question of accountability from the county assemblies to the Senate. So, Speaker, it is time that we need to look at some functions of, for example, health. Your
time is up. Before Shakil takes the floor, allow me to acknowledge in the public gallery Oriwo Boys High School from Karachonyo, Homa Bay. In the public gallery again, I don't know if this is public or speaker. Gallery. We have Kangongi Comprehensive School from Madhioya. In Muranga. Then we have Kabare Girls, grade 2. From Gishugu, Kirinyaga. Group 2. Kabare girls, are they in the gallery? When you are mentioned, you stand up. They have left. So who are those in the speaker's gallery? I haven't seen them respond. Then we have Itara Secondary School from Mara in Tharaka Nithi. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Shakil Shabir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as much as I want to get up and support the Division of Revenue Bill, because it is within our mandate, and that is where we are working. I was a member of CKRC, and we discussed this issue of devolution. Devolution, of course, functions and revenue need to go together. One thing that we had discussed, Mr. Speaker, you might remember, we did not want the number of counties that we have. We wanted 10. if you remember. It was 14. We did not want so many because we felt that these excellencies would now become like little presidents. Mr. Speaker, sir, I spent a lot of time on devolution. An issue of devolution we spoke about was that each budget should be on a zero-based budgeting or performance budgeting. Mr. Speaker, I have been a mayor of a city, and we know how things work on own source revenue. These organizations that counties that we're talking about now have declares very little on source revenue, and most of them are now depending on the division of revenue bill. We are saying that is fine, but you know what is happening is devolution was meant to have certain results. One of the results we did not want was to devolve corruption. We have actually devolved corruption at each level. There are issues at each county, and some of these issues are now becoming recurrent, and they are also now strangulating the counties. And I am of the opinion that even the oversight, recently I saw the governors and the Senate having an argument about oversight. It is an essential part of devolution. It's an essential part if the government has been given money, county government has been given money, based upon some sort of division of revenue bill. That must be followed to the T. However, once you give them the money, they start now changing their priorities. They start changing other issues.
SS member.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. As I rise to support the motion on approval of Division of Revenue, allow me first to appreciate the Committee of Budget and Appropriation and this Honorable House through your leadership for undertaking its constitutional responsibility of passing critical bills that are going to support devolution. One of it is the Division of Revenue Bill that is before us. Mr. Speaker, as I stand to support this, it is high time at this moment when we are celebrating more than 10 years of devolution. In fact, we are doing almost from 2010, we're almost doing 15 years. To around 16 years of devolution. And truth be said, Mr. Speaker, we have to go back to the spirit of our Constitution under fourth schedule, the provision and the separation of mandates and roles of the two levels of government. As we speak now, Mr. Speaker, there are many questions that Kenyans are asking, from year one of devolution up to the current year where we are now. If we are going to take a yardstick or measure the functions and the improvement, attainment of this devolution, truth to be said, Kenyans